This evening from Kolkata, from Kerala, and we'll have some details coming in from Kolkata as well. First up, the big exclusive from Kerala. Let's get started. Big admission by a Jamaat associate, Adhir Ranjan, on 1975 ban on Jamaat-e-Islami. Says he burnt documents while in Qatar. He says the truth about Jamaat was burnt by him while he was in Qatar. Adhir Ranjan says he distributed papers reasoning RSS ban in 1975 but held back the Jamaat ban documents. Republic questions the Jamaat associate Adhir Ranjan on his August 29 confession speech. He is now evasive. Big move with the Karnataka government. NIA probe order into BJP leader Praveen Netturu's killing. And on this edition of This Is Exclusive, we've accessed a video from Kerala, and this video is of Adhir Ranjan, and it's a 2019 video. It's 2019 video that is emerged now of Adhir Ranjan, who's also the group editor. He's a journalist of Madhyamam Daily and also Media One, associated to Jamaat, and in a public program that was held in Thrissur in 2019, this man called Adhir Ranjan says that he burnt crucial diplomatic documents and literature that substantiated the Indira government decision to ban Jamaat-e-Islami. And instead of distributing it to different channels via the Qatar embassy, where he was working as an interpreter back then, he says he instead burnt them all. He says he burnt the proof on Jamaat while sharing the documents on the RSS. And while he was an interpreter, he was basically doing diplomatic duty back then in 1975. And today he says that he covered up for the Jamaat, instead shared details of the RSS. Let me go across to, in fact, before I go across to Ashwin breaking that story, here's what Adhir Ranjan has said.
1977 അതിനു മുമ്പ് 1975 കുറിച്ച് പറയേണ്ടതുണ്ട്. 75 ജൂണിൽ ഇന്ത്യൻ എംബസിയിൽ, ഖത്തറിലെ ഇന്ത്യൻ എംബസിയിലാണ് ഞാൻ ഒരു ഇന്റർപ്രറ്ററായി ജോലി പ്രവേശിച്ചത്, എൻ്റെ ജ്യേഷ്ഠൻ കൂടിയായ അബ്ദുള്ള സാഹിബിന് പകരമായിട്ട്. പക്ഷേ ആ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തതിൻ്റെ പിറ്റേ ദിവസം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിന് 4-5 ദിവസങ്ങൾക്ക് ശേഷമാണ് 1975 ജൂലൈ ശ്രീമതി ഇന്ദിരാഗാന്ധി രാജ്യത്ത് അടിയന്തരാവസ്ഥ പ്രഖ്യാപിച്ചതിൻ്റെ തുടർന്ന്, അത് ജൂൺ 26-ാം തീയതിയാണ്, ഒരു 4-5 ദിവസം കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ ഇന്ത്യൻ ജമാഅത്തെ-ഇസ്ലാമിയെ നിരോധിച്ചുകൊണ്ടുള്ള ഉത്തരവിറങ്ങുന്നത്. RSSനെയും മറ്റു ചില സംഘടനകളെയും നിരോധിച്ച കൂട്ടത്തിലാണ് ഇന്ത്യൻ ജമാഅത്തെ-ഇസ്ലാമിയെ കൂടി നിരോധിച്ചത്. പിന്നീടുള്ള 2 വർഷം ശരിക്കും ഒരു പരീക്ഷാഘട്ടമായിരുന്നു. ജമാഅത്തെ-ഇസ്ലാമിയെ നിരോധിച്ചതിനോട് അറബ് ലോകത്തുള്ള ഇസ്ലാമിക പ്രസ്ഥാനങ്ങൾക്കും അതിൻ്റെ നേതാക്കൾക്കും പണ്ഡിതന്മാർക്കും കഠിനമായ എതിർപ്പും പ്രതിഷേധവും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആ പശ്ചാത്തലത്തിൽ കൂടി ഇന്ത്യൻ എംബസിയിൽ ഞാൻ ജോലി ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ, അപ്പോൾ ചെയ്യേണ്ട പണി എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, എല്ലാ ആഴ്ചയും വരുന്ന ഡിപ്ലോമാറ്റിക് ബാഗിൽ ജമാഅത്തെ-ഇസ്ലാമിയെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിരോധിച്ചു എന്ന ലഘുലേഖ, RSSനെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിരോധിച്ചു എന്ന് ആ ലഘുലേഖയൊപ്പം തന്നെ വരും. എൻ്റെ ജോലികളിൽ ഒന്ന്, രാവിലെ 10 മണിക്ക് എംബസിയിൽ വരുന്ന അംബാസഡർ ഹിസ് എക്സലൻസി ആരിഫ് കബറയിലാണ് അന്നത്തെ അംബാസഡർ. വിളിച്ചെന്നെ എന്നോട് പറയും, ഇതൊക്കെ ഓരോ പത്രസ്ഥാപനങ്ങളിലും ഓഫീസുകളിലും എത്തിക്കണം. RSSനെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിരോധിച്ചു എന്നുള്ളത് എത്തിക്കാൻ പ്രയാസമൊന്നുമില്ല. പക്ഷെ ജമാഅത്തെ ഇസ്ലാമിയെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിരോധിച്ചു എന്ന പച്ചക്കള്ളം അച്ചടിച്ചത് നിത്യേന ഈ പറയുന്ന ഓഫീസുകളിൽ എത്തിക്കേണ്ട ജോലി കൂടി എനിക്കുണ്ട്. മനസ്സാക്ഷിയിൽ നല്ല സംഘടന നടന്ന നിമിഷങ്ങളായിരുന്നു. എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു വെച്ചാൽ RSSനെ നിരോധിച്ചു എന്നുള്ള കാര്യമൊക്കെ അയക്കും, ജമാഅത്തെ ഇസ്ലാമിയെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിരോധിച്ചു എന്നുള്ള കാര്യമൊക്കെ കൂട്ടിവെക്കും, അവസാനം അതിനൊരു തീപ്പെട്ടിക്കുള്ളി ചെലവാക്കും. ഇതാണ് ചെയ്തത് രാജ്യദ്രോഹമാണോ രാജ്യസ്നേഹമാണോ എന്നതിനോട് ചോദിച്ചിട്ട് കാര്യമില്ല. എൻ്റെ ഉത്തമനുസരിച്ച് ചെയ്യേണ്ടതാണ് ചെയ്തത്.
Good afternoon, Mr. O. Adhir Ranjan. This is Ashwin here from Republic.
From where?
From Republic TV.
Okay.
Sir, we had seen one video tape where you was talking about your time in the Indian embassy in Qatar, where you had burned some documents. We would like to get your comments with regard to that.
I am not interested.
Sir, is it true that do you stand by what you had stated in 2019 August 5th?
No. It is for in emergency period, I think.
Yes.
It was 45 years ago.
Correct. But you selectively burnt the Jamaati files and allowed the RSS files to go. Is that correct, sir?
It is not a full correct. And I didn't see it also. So I have not tested it.
So this particular video was during the time there was a conference in Thrissur on August 5th, 2019. So you stand by that particular statement or you refuse to comment on it?
I think it was reported partially and damaged some condenses and all that.
So do you agree to what you said that that video is definitely of yours? We had seen those videos. So do you stand by what you had stated, or is there something else that you want to add to it?
Actually, I opposed the emergency itself.
Okay. All right.
And now my stand is the same. So emergency was against our constitution and all that.
Yes. Okay.
And the ban of the organizations also I opposed.
Okay.
At that time I was casual.
Correct.
In the embassy. Leave vacancy.
Yes. Okay.
Then,
So, but then even the RSS was fighting the emergency. So, why did you selectively take it off? Is what the question. What many of people are asking.
No, I opposed even the ban of RSS and all that.
Okay.
Banning of all organizations is against our constitution and all that. That time, the emergency. Mrs. Gandhi imposed the emergency and suspended all fundamental rights and all that.
Yes. So does that make you because you were connected to the Jamaat-e-Islami organization, that is why you held back those documents?
So what you just saw was, first you saw the confession from 2019, the confession of this journalist called Adhir Ranjan, who in 1975 worked as an interpreter in Qatar, right? He says he hid material on Jamaat. So he was there on diplomatic duty. Essentially, he was there on diplomatic duty. There was material on Jamaat, on why the Jamaat was banned, Jamaat-e-Islami, and why the RSS was banned. This is 1975, in the emergency era. And then he was asked to distribute both the material on Jamaat ban and the material on RSS ban. And what this then interpreter come diplomatic official did was he decided to only share RSS material in 1975 while destroying the material on Jamaat. Ashwin spoke to him, and what you just saw after that, the conversation, he's a journalist now. Ashwin, why don't you break down the story for our viewers and tell us why this is such a big story? It's coming out after 47 years. At least the tape, I think, is a 2019 speech, but this happened 47 years. ago?
Absolutely. It's quite shocking that a person who was employed in the government setup, in the embassy in Delhi, as an, for Qatar, for the country, for Qatar, where all the information of the stance of the government has to be supplied to all of these countries. This man has come on tape in 2019 for a public program that was held, stating that for 2 years, every week there was a diplomatic baggage that came, which contained government documents which has to be distributed to all these countries, like he was handling Qatar. So for 2 years, every week there was documents which stated why the government went ahead to ban the organizations like RSS and Jamaat. Now what he did was for 2 years, he has stated very clearly, for 2 years I was in a dire situation. It was pricking my conscience. So what I did was I allowed all the RSS banned material. The reason why the Indira Gandhi government banned RSS, I allowed that material, that literature to be distributed to the media people in Qatar, but I held back all the documents, and he states for 2 years all the documents that substantiated why the government banned Jamaat-e-Islami. And he also then goes on to say that all he had to do later was hold it back and then use a matchstick, which essentially says that he burnt it all. So we did confront him in the call. We little further down the call, we did confront him, and we did ask him about it. So he kind of now contradicts himself by stating that it's a very old story, he does not remember half of it, and then he goes on to say on a record that in fact it was a back-end office which supplied these materials, and he had transferred the same material to the driver, who in turn destroyed these documents. That is what he has stated to us on phone directly. So there is severe contradiction. Now, who's Adhir Ranjan is also very important, Niranjan. He is the group editor for Madhyamam and Media One channel. These are the two old channels, two old media networks in the state of Kerala. And in fact, we all know how Media One was also banned. The central government has also banned Media One for some security, national security reasons, and then that had to be revoked by the court and all that. But what the essential question is, our interpreter who worked for the government was selectively destroying documents because he believed in certain kind of ideology, and that is something very grave, Niranjan.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's why we're doing this story, because this actually tells you a lot, isn't it? Captain Alok Bansal and Sandeep Singh joining us in the broadcast. Alok Bansal, I mean, are you surprised?
It is really shocking, because please understand, Madhyamam is a fairly important publication. In fact, just a few days earlier, there was a CPIM minister who had sent a letter to UAE asking for ban on Madhyamam in UAE, which became a big issue. And there, of course, we had people cutting across party ban, criticizing that. But here you have the group editor of that particular newspaper, while he was in a diplomatic assignment, because while you may be an interpreter, but anyone posted in the mission is on a diplomatic assignment, and he or she, irrespective of his own personal ideology, is supposed to abide by the instructions of the government of India. They are employees of the government of India. They should be doing that. Now, during emergency, right or wrong, the government had actually circulated material to propagate in Qatar why RSS and Jamaat have been banned. Now, this individual selectively decides that Jamaat propaganda should not go, but RSS propaganda should go. This, to my mind, is extremely dangerous, because this shows a clear-cut bias in his thinking, and he has actually betrayed the job that was entrusted to him as an employee of the mission there. He was supposed to have been abiding by the instructions given by New Delhi, which he has not done so. And such a person now heading a publication also shows that he must be obviously using his ideology. Now he is in a position where he can use it, and he must be actually tainting his editorials, his vision as far as this particular publication is concerned.
Yeah. Sandeep, if I can get you in also on this one. It raises many questions, many serious questions, right?
Yeah. Thanks a ton to Republic for bringing this out in the public domain. You don't know, you have done a yeoman service. I have 4 or 5 points to make. The first is that the truth can't be hidden. And RSS has been continuously growing by his good work. They're doing good work in the society, and not only within India, but outside India. So doing unnecessary propaganda is not going to damage RSS. The truth has its own way of coming out, like the way this video has come out. The second part is that I'm not surprised considering the fact that though our ex-president, Vice President Hamid Ansari has denied, we have seen a lot of things floating around, like what as an ambassador he did. So, it puts a bigger question that are officers from a particular community damaging India's image? Today, the Ministry of External Affairs in Parliament has said that we have 5,436 officers posted at various capacities in embassies and missions abroad. Now, after looking at this, government needs to relook at the officer posted there, what they are doing. And this officer also needs to be investigated. And one more point I like to make is that the way he says that, he keeps his religion above his nationalism. And I'm sure that a lot of secular bureaucrats and babudam, their trigger will also, it will also trigger their consciousness, and they should start looking at their Hindu dharma, what is happening to it, and how people from other community keep pushing their religion wherever they are posted. So this video raises a lot of questions, and I hope government goes on to investigate this officer. What else he has done? He has just said this one part. He would have done several this kind of damages to the country when he was posted abroad.
I'd like to play that soundbite once again. It's a speech from 2019. It's in Malayalam. Ashwin, stay with me. The confession first up, what he said in 2019. That video is emerging now for some reason. Let's play that out with the translations, and then we will get some more reactions to it.
1977 അതിനു മുമ്പ് 1975 കുറിച്ച് പറയേണ്ടതുണ്ട്. 75 ജൂണിൽ ഇന്ത്യൻ എംബസിയിൽ, ഖത്തറിലെ ഇന്ത്യൻ എംബസിയിലാണ് ഞാൻ ഒരു ഇന്റർപ്രറ്ററായി ജോലി പ്രവേശിച്ചത്, എൻ്റെ ജ്യേഷ്ഠൻ കൂടിയായ ഒ അബ്ദുള്ള സാഹിബിന് പകരമായിട്ട്. പക്ഷേ ആ ജോയിൻ ചെയ്തതിൻ്റെ പിറ്റേ ദിവസം, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അതിന് 4-5 ദിവസങ്ങൾക്ക് ശേഷമാണ് 1975 ജൂലൈയിൽ ശ്രീമതി ഇന്ദിരാഗാന്ധി രാജ്യത്ത് അടിയന്തരാവസ്ഥ പ്രഖ്യാപിച്ചതിൻ്റെ തുടർന്ന്, അത് ജൂൺ 26-ാം തീയതിയാണ്, ഒരു 4-5 ദിവസം കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ ഇന്ത്യൻ ജമാഅത്തെ-ഇസ്ലാമിയെ നിരോധിച്ചുകൊണ്ടുള്ള ഉത്തരവിറങ്ങുന്നത്. RSSനെയും മറ്റു ചില സംഘടനകളെയും നിരോധിച്ച കൂട്ടത്തിലാണ് ഇന്ത്യൻ ജമാഅത്തെ-ഇസ്ലാമിയെ കൂടി നിരോധിച്ചത്. പിന്നീടുള്ള 2 വർഷം ശരിക്കും ഒരു പരീക്ഷാഘട്ടമായിരുന്നു. ജമാഅത്തെ-ഇസ്ലാമിയെ നിരോധിച്ചതിനോട് അറബ് ലോകത്തുള്ള ഇസ്ലാമിക പ്രസ്ഥാനങ്ങൾക്കും അതിൻ്റെ നേതാക്കൾക്കും പണ്ഡിതന്മാർക്കും കഠിനമായ എതിർപ്പും പ്രതിഷേധവും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ആ പശ്ചാത്തലത്തിൽ കൂടി ഇന്ത്യൻ എംബസിയിൽ ഞാൻ ജോലി ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ. അപ്പോൾ ചെയ്യേണ്ട പണി എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ, എല്ലാ ആഴ്ചയും വരുന്ന ഡിപ്ലോമാറ്റിക് ബാഗിൽ ജമാഅത്തെ-ഇസ്ലാമിയെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിരോധിച്ചു എന്ന ലഘുലേഖ, RSSനെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിരോധിച്ചു എന്ന് ആ ലഘുലേഖയുടെ ഒപ്പം തന്നെ വരും. എൻ്റെ ജോലികളിൽ ഒന്ന്, രാവിലെ 10 മണിക്ക് എംബസിയിൽ വരുന്ന അംബാസഡർ ഹിസ് എക്സലൻസി ആരിഫ് കബറയിലാണ് അന്നത്തെ അംബാസഡർ. എന്നോട് പറയും, ഇതൊക്കെ ഓരോ പത്രസ്ഥാപനങ്ങളിലും ഓഫീസുകളിലും എത്തിക്കണം. RSSനെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിരോധിച്ചു എന്നുള്ളത് എത്തിക്കാൻ പ്രയാസമൊന്നുമില്ല. പക്ഷെ ജമാഅത്തെ-ഇസ്ലാമിയെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിരോധിച്ചു എന്ന പച്ചക്കള്ളം അച്ചടിച്ചത് നിത്യേന ഈ പറയുന്ന ഓഫീസുകളിൽ എത്തിക്കേണ്ട ജോലിയൂടി എനിക്കുണ്ട്. മനസ്സാക്ഷിയിൽ നല്ല സംഘടന നടന്ന നിമിഷങ്ങളായിരുന്നു. എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഞാൻ എന്ത് ചെയ്യുന്നു വെച്ചാൽ, RSSനെ നിരോധിച്ചു എന്നുള്ള കാര്യമൊക്കെ അയക്കും, ജമാഅത്തെ-ഇസ്ലാമിയെ എന്തുകൊണ്ട് നിരോധിച്ചു എന്നുള്ള കാര്യമൊക്കെ കൂട്ടിവെക്കും, അവസാനം അതിനൊരു തീപ്പെട്ടിക്കുള്ളി ചെലവാക്കും. ഇതാണ് ചെയ്തത്. രാജ്യദ്രോഹമാണോ രാജ്യസ്നേഹമാണോ എന്നതിനോട് ചോദിച്ചിട്ട് കാര്യമില്ല. എൻ്റെ ഉത്തമ അനുസരിച്ച് ചെയ്യലാണ് ചെയ്തത്.
And that was the full confession of O. Abdur Rahman, and Ashwin spoke to him. It's a big story that Ashwin is breaking from Kerala. Ashwin, thank you for that. I have to take a short break. I'd like to thank Captain Alok Bansal and Sandeep Singh at this point. I have to take a short break now. Ashwin, we'll track this story. Let's see what happens. Let's try and get some reactions to this. Thank you for that. Taking a short break on This Is Exclusive.
Congress blames Praveen murder on Sangh crisis. Is Congress giving PFI, SDPI benefit of doubt? Watch the biggest story tonight at 7 p.m.
Amity University has India's largest scholarship program, from which over 25,000 brilliant students have already benefited. Students with over 95% in Class 12 boards get 100% scholarship, and students with over 90% get 50% scholarship. Join brilliant like-minded students who want to be successful. Apply at amity.edu/scholarships.
Wherever you are, whenever you want. Republic live stream with you everywhere. Republic live stream, India's #1 streaming news.
India's Super News Network. Republic Media Network's #1 super feed. #1 across all 3 channels.
In a fatal accident, a Class 9 student lost his life and several were injured as a school bus and a speeding truck collided in Punjab's Hoshiarpur. Congress MP Dipender Singh Hooda given a suspension of business notice in Rajya Sabha over Centre's Agnipath recruitment scheme in the monsoon session of Parliament.
आग लगी हुई है और आंदोलनकारी इस तरीके से
और कश्मीरी
Amid the tension between China and the United States with regards to Taiwan, China rejected a US bill to encourage more semiconductor companies to build chip plants in the US. China cited containment of restrictions on China-US cooperation in science and technology. US President Joe Biden and China Xi Jinping spent more than 2 hours talking through the future of their complicated relationship. Chinese Foreign Ministry reportedly warned United States President Joe Biden against playing with fire over Taiwan. China also blamed US unilateral sanctions and tariff barriers which affected the security of global supply of energy and food. This comes in the backdrop of US Speaker of the House announcing her trip to Taiwan.
I think that it's important for us to show support for Taiwan. I also think that none of us has ever said we're for independence when it comes to Taiwan. That's up to Taiwan to decide.
Hitting back at Nancy Pelosi, China firmly opposed to the planned visit to Taiwan. China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs spokesperson said that the Chinese military will never sit idle and will take serious measures to thwart any attempts by external forces to interfere and separate Taiwan. In the midst of tension, soldiers participated in live-fire military drills amid escalating tensions with China in Taiwan. The military drills have been running every year since 1984 and aim to boost Taiwan's defenses against invading forces. Although this year the event is more significant in light of rising tensions with China. All eyes are on the visit of Nancy Pelosi. If she will visit Taiwan amid the ongoing tensions, it can aggravate the multiple issues including South China Sea crisis. Agency report.
And that was a story broken by Republic TV on This Is Exclusive, a 2019 speech that tells you about a 47-year cover-up. In fact, we also spoke to and questioned Adhir Ranjan, who backed Jamaat-e-Islami, who covered up the material on Jamaat-e-Islami while sharing material on RSS while in Qatar on diplomatic duty. Here's a short excerpt of that conversation. My colleague Ashwin spoke to him.
Good afternoon, Mr. O. Abdur Rahman. This is Ashwin here from Republic.
From where?
From Republic TV.
Okay.
Sir, we had seen one video tape where you was talking about your time in the Indian embassy in Qatar, where you had burned some documents. We would like to get your comments with regard to that.
I am not interested.
Sir, is it true that, do you stand by what you had stated in 2019, August 5th?
No. It's for in emergency period, I think.
Yes.
It was 45 years ago.
Correct. But you selectively burnt the Jamaat files and allowed the RSS files to go. Is that correct, sir?
It is not a full correct. I didn't see it also. So I have not tested it.
So this particular video was during the time there was a conference in Thrissur on August 5th, 2019. So you stand by that particular statement or you refuse to comment on it?
I think it was...
Okay, so we'll track that story very closely here on Republic. Have to take a short break again here on Republic. We'll come back with the breaking news updates on the other side with Abhishek. Stay tuned.
Congress MP K. Suresh gives adjournment motion notice in Lok Sabha over war of words which unfolded between Union Minister Smriti Irani and Sonia Gandhi. Congress MP alleges that shocking attempts were made by BJP MPs, including Union Minister Smriti Irani, to threaten Sonia Gandhi. Amid flash floods in Himachal Pradesh, a link road was washed away in Kaza district. An estimated loss of 15 lakh rupees has been incurred, and the Karnataka State Disaster Management Authority has urged the district administration to take stock of the situation.
In a bizarre incident, watch students of primary school in Uttar Pradesh Baldio area making a bridge of chairs for teachers to enter the waterlogged school. This is yet another incident which went viral of teachers allegedly involved in a bizarre incident. Visuals show students drenched in knee-deep water making pathway for teachers by placing chairs in a row. Soon after the video went viral, the teachers were suspended.
उक्त वीडियो का हमने संज्ञान लिया है, उच्च अधिकारियों के भी संज्ञान में उक्त वीडियो है और हमने अध्यापका के विरुद्ध कार्यवाही कर दी है.
Similarly, a teacher was suspended in Uttar Pradesh Hardoi district few days earlier after a video of her getting massage from students went viral. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Wherever you are, whenever you want, Republic live stream with you everywhere. Republic live stream, India's #1 streaming news.
India's Super News Network. Republic Media Network's #1 super feed. #1 across all 3 channels.
In a fatal accident, a class 9 student lost his life and several were injured as a school bus and a speeding truck collided in Punjab's Hoshiarpur. Congress MP Dipender Singh Hooda given a suspension of business notice in Rajya Sabha over Centre's Agnipath recruitment scheme in the monsoon session of Parliament.
उसमें आग लगी हुई है और आंदोलनकारी इस तरीके से
और कश्मीरी Amid the tension between China
Handing it over to my colleague Abhishek joining us on Live and Breaking as we get more updates on the top stories of the day. Abhishek.
All right, let's go to headlines. Thank you so much, Ranjan. Here are the headlines for the 6:30 p.m. Live and Breaking. Big win for Smriti Irani. Delhi High Court tells Pawan Khera and Jairam Ramesh to take down defamatory content. Big trouble for Khera and company after Smriti's solid legal notice. Congress top brass summoned by the Delhi court. A big move by Karnataka government. NIA probe ordered into the BJP leader Praveen Nettaru's killing. A big controversy breaks out over Praveen's murder. NIA probes the murder, but Congress spares PFI SDPI. Top Congress leader blames Sangh internal crisis instead. Sacked TMC Minister Partha Chatterjee and aide Arpita play unwell card after ED double haul. After shameful sexism, Congress tries to brazen it out now. No apology yet to President Murmu. Another Congress assault caught on camera after Renuka Chaudhary. Now Digvijay Singh holds cop by the collar. As hate killings are at their peak in Karnataka, State Minister Dr. Ashwath Narayanan, CN, in a massive statement said that they were ready for the encounter of the culprits on Friday. This comes after CM Basavaraj Bommai said that the government will follow the UP model in taking action against the culprits if need arose. Meanwhile, former Chief Minister Siddaramaiah made a controversial statement as he pinned the blame on RSS internal crisis for the murders. So the Praveen Nettaru murder case will be handed over to the NIA as the state government has decided. Take a look at this report.
DGIG ಅವರ ಜೊತೆಗೆಲ್ಲ ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ. ಈಗ ಪ್ರವೀಣ್ನ ಹತ್ಯೆ ಕೇಸು ಶಂಕಿತವಾಗಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ರೈಮು ಮತ್ತು ಅಂತಾರಾಜ್ಯ ವಿಚಾರ ಇರೋದರಿಂದ ಅದರ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾದಂಥ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟಾಗಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟಿಗೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಮಾಹಿತಿ ಇದೆ ಅದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಮತ್ತು ತನಿಖೆ ತೀವ್ರಗತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೀತಾ ಇದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಹಿತಿಗಳನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದುಕೊಂಡ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಲೆಟರ್ನ ಬರೆಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಇದನ್ನು NIA ಕೊಡಬೇಕಂತ ನಾವು ತೀರ್ಮಾನವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಅದು ಹೋಮ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟು ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಸೂಚನೆಯನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಅಂತಾರಾಜ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಇದರ ವಿಚಾರ ಇರುವುದರಿಂದ NIAಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕನ್ನುವಂಥ ಒಂದನೇ ತೀರ್ಮಾನ. Yesterday I was there in Mangaluru. I visited Praveen's house, and while coming back after I took the flight, I heard there was another murder. I got all the details. I've instructed ADGP Law and Order to stay there and see that prompt action is taken. For us, all incidents are equal. All murders, all life of the people are same to us. So we want to take strict actions on all the three cases. I will not explain anything now. As and when required, whatever is necessary within the frame of law, we will do all actions. It might be UP model or Karnataka model.
ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇಂಥ ಘಟನೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಡೀಬಾರ್ದು ಅನ್ನೋಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಮತ್ತು ಸಮಾಜದ ನಾಗರಿಕರ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಅವರ ಭಾವನೆಯ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ತೀವ್ರವಾದಂಥ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಭಾಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ಯಾರೇ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಲಿ ಹುಡುಕಿ ಆ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇನು ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಬೇಕು, ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎನ್ಕೌಂಟರ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೂ UPಗಿಂತ ಒಂದು 5 ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. UPಗಿಂತ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾಡಲೇ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. UPಗಿಂತಲೂ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಒಂದು ಮುಂದುವರೆದ ರಾಜ್ಯ. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗಿಂತ ಪ್ರಗತಿಪರವಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ಒಂದು ರಾಜ್ಯ, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಮಾದರಿಯಾಗಿರುವಂಥ ರಾಜ್ಯ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಇತರರಿಗೆ ಮಾದರಿಯಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಇದನ್ನೇನು ಅನುಸರಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು ಯಾವುದೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು
An unidentified group of assailants killed a 23-year-old youth in Karnataka's Mangaluru. A 23-year-old youth was hacked to death by an unidentified group on the outskirts of Mangaluru. The deceased has been identified as Fazil and was recorded being attacked by lethal weapons. The individual was shifted to a hospital where he was declared dead. Section 144 was imposed in the district following the incident.
And I appeal to all citizens of Mangaluru City Police that regarding this incident, due justice will be done quickly and with complete fairness and transparency. Also, I appeal all the citizens not to be listening the rumors which are spread around by vested interest groups.
The Commissioner of Police further added that the motive behind the incident and the identity of the culprits is being investigated. Bureau Report, Republic TV.
A massive drama has been unfolding in the Bengal cash scam case. Visuals of Arpita Mukherjee breaking down multiple times have been making headlines, even as the Enforcement Directorate raids continue in the case. Meanwhile, Partha, when confronted, said he is a victim of conspiracy. Following the medical, he has now claimed that Mamata's decision was right, clearly in a bind. Take a look.
After ED recovered rupees 27.90 crore cash from Partha Chatterjee aide Arpita's Belgaria residence yesterday, Partha and Arpita both were taken to Joka ESI hospital for medical checkup today. Watch how Arpita broke down inside car and started sobbing and wailing inside car while she was taken to the hospital. She refuses to move out of the car and started flinging her head forward, which compelled the security personnel to bring her out of the car forcefully. In another sequence, Arpita is seen on wheelchair inside hospital. On the other hand, Partha made a big claim while he was taken to the hospital that he said, and I quote, "I'm a victim of conspiracy." However, a day after he sacked on his way back to ED office, he stated that Mamata's decision is correct. Bureau Report for Republic TV.
In some reports from across the country, Prime Minister Narendra Modi laid down the foundation stone of the headquarters building of the International Financial Services Centre Authority and also launched India's International Bullion Exchange in Gandhinagar. In a big development, the Karnataka government has decided to hand over the investigation into the killing of Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha member Praveen Nettaru to the National Investigation Agency. Following the murder of BJYM member Praveen Nettaru, who was hacked to death on Tuesday by bike-pore assailants, prohibitory orders under Section 144 have been imposed across the Dakshin Kannada district in Karnataka.
ಕಾರ್ಯಕರ್ತರ ಮತ್ತು ಸಮಾಜದ ನಾಗರಿಕರ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಅಪೇಕ್ಷೆಯ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ, ಅವರ ಭಾವನೆಯ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ತೀವ್ರವಾದಂಥ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಭಾಳ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಸಂದೇಶವನ್ನು ಯಾರೇ ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಇರಲಿ ಹುಡುಕಿ ಆ ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸುವಂಥದ್ದು ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇನು ಕ್ರಮವನ್ನು ವಹಿಸಬೇಕು ಆಗಿದೆ. ಆದರೆ ಇಂಥ ಘಟನೆ.
This even as Karnataka Minister Dr. Ashwath Narayan CN has made a massive statement, said that they were ready for the encounter of the culprits. Speaking to the media, Ashwath Narayan CN said the state government will go 5 steps forward than Uttar Pradesh. A big win for Smriti Irani in the Delhi High Court on Friday, which issued summons to the senior Congress leaders Jairam Ramesh, Pawan Khera and Netta D'Souza in a case filed by the Union Minister over defamatory content posted by them. Partha Chatterjee, who was relieved of his duties as Commerce and Industry Minister, and from posts in Trinamool Congress, yesterday said that West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's decision was right. He also claimed that he was a victim of a conspiracy. And in a stunning twist to the Bengal cash scam, accused Arpita Mukherjee's 4 luxury cars went missing from a Tollygunj flat amid the Enforcement Directorate crackdown. This comes against the backdrop of the vats of cash recovered from the 2 of Arpita residences, along with a series of incriminating documents and a sensational black diary that was also recovered. The 8 arrested persons having links to the Al-Qaeda were produced before the Chief Judicial Magistrate Court in Barpeta, Assam today. The court has sent them to 9-day police custody. That's according to Amitav Sinha, SP of Barpeta. Former Mumbai top cop Sanjay Pandey's ED remand was extended till August 2 in phone tapping case. Pandey was produced in the Rouse Avenue court after his ED remand in the NSE phone tapping case ended today. And a shocking show of entitlement and VIP arrogance, former Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister and Congress leader Digvijay Singh was seen assaulting a police officer in a scuffle that broke out at during the district panchayat polls in Bhopal. All right, breaking news development coming in this time. Congress leader of opposition Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary has tendered an apology to President Draupadi Murmu over his Rashtrapatni remark. In a letter which he has issued, he says, "I assure you that it was a slip of tongue. I apologize and request you to accept the same." Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary writing to the President of India, respected Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji, Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi, Your Excellency. I am writing to express my regret for having mistakenly used an incorrect word to describe the position you hold. I assure you that it was a slip of tongue. I apologize and request you to accept the same. Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary finally acting and writing to the President of India, expressing his apologies. Remember, took almost 36 hours for Adhir Ranjan to really bat straight and give in to the demand of the BJP. Aishwarya Kapoor, our ex-cadet of politics, joins us over the phone. Aishwarya, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary finally seeing the light of day, apologizing straight with the President of India. You think this would end the controversy, or the BJP is going to hammer it even further with the Congress party taking so much time to force their leader to apologize?
This should have happened in the next minute. Well, Abhishek, he is too late. This should have happened the next minute. He made the mistake, but he carried it on for more than 72 hours.